loves, welcome to Fifth Dimension. So for today's reading, we are going to be pulling messages from your shadow self. So what I mean specifically is that I'm going to try to look into any shadow behaviors that you may be either exhibiting or experiencing somehow in your life, and how that may be affecting you, as well as anything else that we need to know about that, all right? So for pile number 1, we have the Angel Aura as well as the Dragon Tarot. For pile number 2, we have the Citrine as well as the Halloween Tarot. And for pile number 3, we have Labradorite with the Astromatrix Tarot. So as always, loves, choose whichever pile you feel most drawn to, and if that's more than one, I would definitely trust that. I do want to quickly say that I am open for personal readings. If that's something you're interested in, you can find my email address in the description box, as well as any other information that you might need to contact me, all right? I do also want to say that if you have purchased a personal reading from me before, or exchanged readings with me, would you do me the huge favor of going to the community post where I left a link to essentially a feedback form, so that I can use the testimonials in my website to help promote myself. Trying to legitimize myself, okay guys? That's optional, of course, but I do appreciate those of you who have already filled it out for me. You guys are the real MVP. Hi, pile number 1. Thank you for joining me for your reading. If you chose this Angel Aura, then you're at the right place. So first things first, trigger warning, I am going to pull some shadow behaviors, just to sort of pinpoint where we're going with this reading. All right, so pile number 1, which shadow behaviors are being expressed or experienced? Oh, no, that's way too many. Pile number 1. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me get one more. Oh, that's 2 more. Okay, well, I'm taking them. So, pile number 1, we have dishonesty, bullying, manipulation, criticism of others, anger, and guilt. So let me sit with this energy really quick. All right, so pile number 1, don't come for me, okay? The way that I'm seeing this, I'm seeing like a person in deep frustration with a certain situation or a certain set of circumstances. The way things are currently playing out, or the way they did play out in a situation. And I feel this person like in this loop, and it's like kind of a chaotic loop, even if it's just a mental loop, but I sort of feel it plays out as far as like thoughts, then behaviors, then actions. And then we end up right back into thoughts, behaviors, and actions, but it's the same loop essentially. And that's why it feels so frustrating. It's just like when we get back to the thoughts, I feel like every time we round about to that, there's some clarity. Okay. I'm trying to dance around this. It's sort of like there's this sense of frustration at everything outside of you for what you are experiencing, because it's kind of like a frustrating loop. But at the end of the loop, there's this point where you have clarity and realization that your own thoughts, behaviors, and actions are what's keeping you stuck in this loop. And although you have that clarity, you switch it. I feel like you convince yourself out of that clarity and then get right back into the loop of the same other thoughts that lead you to certain behaviors, that lead to you taking certain actions, that just put you right back at the beginning of the loop. And then you get so angry because you're just like, what the hell? Like, I just got out of that part. Like, why am I here again? And then there's that realization, like I said, it's because of this, this, and this. But then you go right back to this and this and this. I don't know what that is, and this feels very specific, so please take it however it resonates, and if it doesn't resonate, then just leave it. Then it's not your reading. Try a different file. But this all feels internal. I don't like, okay, the criticism of others, obviously, I feel like that's that outward expression where it's just like you get to the ending point where the action is, you don't get the outcome you wanted. And then there's criticism at the world outside of you or the situation outside of your hands. But then at the end of the day, like I said, we get back to the beginning where there's that realization that there's something that you're not being honest with yourself about, and it puts you right back into this place of guilt and anger, which is the main energy that I was feeling, a sense of strong frustration with a situation. Okay, so let's go ahead and get more specific with this. What do we need to know in regards to this energy for pile number 1? What do we need to know in regards to this energy for pile number 1? We have the Two of Pentacles, we have the Four of Pentacles, we have the Ten of Pentacles, and the Two of Cups. I feel like I need one more. Give me it. There's something missing. Queen of Cups, clarify. Clarify the Queen of Cups for me. Clarify the Queen of Cups for me, please. The Ten of Swords. There's something that you want that you feel that you can't have. That's what keeps on putting you back at the beginning of the loop. You have this realization of needing to let go of a way of thinking, behaving, or acting. You have that realization, but then you talk yourself out of it because you tell yourself that that's something you can't have. So what's the point of changing those thoughts, behaviors, or actions? You can't have it anyways. Because here I see that energy of like the back and forth. That's what I'm seeing, right? The Two of Pentacles, which is typically like the weighing out, the juggling multiple scenarios, multiple options, multiple whatever. Just like thought energy, right? Being able to try to come up with a plan or make a decision on something. And then the Four of Pentacles is kind of like that stubborn energy. Not kind of like, it is stubborn energy. So like very set in being in these, what I say would loop, the loop, right? Being set in your ways, being used to or stubborn in that loop that you find yourself in but get frustrated about. This is the main energy that needs to be pushed through, okay? The energy of feeling defeated before ever anything. feeling defeated before you even get started. Remember, before you get started in the loop, you've already decided you can't have it. So therefore, that affects the actions, behaviors, thoughts that you are having, doing, or taking. I can see now why there's so much, like, I felt like this, oh, like wanting to explode with frustration. When the loop ends, when the action or the outcome is not what you want, I can see where the frustration and like wanting to explode is coming from, because whatever it is that you're telling yourself you can't have is absolutely something that you just wish you could have. You want it so badly. That's why it's shadow energy. This is heavy energy. Because it's something that you deeply want. The Ten of Pentacles, the Two of Cups, the Queen of Cups, that's deep, emotional, and material fulfillment. It's what, you know, the ideal life that people dream of is just having home, love, money, happiness, you know, all of those things. Having abundance of it, having security in it, and it's coming out in your shadow energy is something that you very deeply want. So I don't know if this is like a hidden thing, like something that you are being dishonest with yourself about what you want. I don't know why I mean, because it's coming out in the shadow energy. So naturally you see this not in shadow energy, you see this like very up in the daylight, like knowing that this is what you want, this is what you're going after in life. But this is coming out in shadow energy, so it's like something that you keep hidden is what I'm sort of getting. Okay, so let me pull some cards to what we need to know about this energy moving forward, or how to rid or clear this energy up. What does pile number 1 need to know about this energy moving forward? One more, please. All right. We have the Four of Cups. We have the Nine of Swords. Aww. And the Knight of Wands. I can feel like you wanting, like, I don't know if this is you, like, wanting to put your heart out there, or like really make some sort of gesture, but feeling rejected before. Yeah, that's literally the same thing. Like, you've decided that you can't have it anyway, so what's the point? And it makes me so sad. You can have it. You know, the Knight of Wands is like deep pursuit, like that's desire, you know, like impulsive desire. But yeah, that's exactly what I was feeling in the original energy. Is just that I want it, but then talking yourself out of it and not getting it, and then feeling so frustrated that you didn't get it. But having that acknowledgement that it's because of your thoughts, behaviors, and actions that are keeping you, specifically the thoughts. The root of it is your thoughts, your belief in your worthiness of having this. Okay, I need some advice. Give me some advice here. Give me advice for pile number 1, please. Advice or guidance. There we go. One more, please. Guidance for pile number 1. Oh, I guess we're getting 3 after all. And let me get one of these. Advice or guidance for pile number 1, please. Sorry, I was biting my lip. I don't know why. I got really anxious. Animal guardian, trust your instincts. We have the card of judgment. We have the Three of Wands. And we have the Page of Pentacles, baby steps. I feel like there is like a real landmark. What's a landmark? Landmark? I guess that's the word. Doesn't landmark mean like, I don't know. A marker? Is that what I meant to say? Like a marker? There's going to be like a marking point, or there is a marking point. Maybe you're currently in the marking point. Whatever. Take this however it resonates. Soon or currently is a marking point for some real change in which you're going to be guided to take baby steps. The Page of Pentacles, that's younger energy, and it's pentacles, so it's like, you know, that's a little baby. And then we have the little baby peeking its head through here. So yeah, I'm getting baby steps, but to take movement, because that's what the Three of Wands is, right? Like watching for the winds of change, watching for the opportunity where you see that marker, or feel in this case, right? Because this is energy. So when you feel an opportunity is right there, right under your nose, take it. Your instincts are going to tell you to take it. Your mind is absolutely going to try to talk you out of it. Okay? But that's what we're trying to change here. Remember, that's why we're having a discussion with your shadow self, and your shadow self wants you to know that it's time to push past this. Okay? It's time to push past the fear, because that's all it is at the end of the day. Everything that's holding you back is coming from this fear. But you need to trust your instincts on this one, and take appropriate actions when it comes to you feeling the need to. All right, loves? But that is what I got for you, pile number one. I hope I was able to offer you some sort of clarity, guidance, whatever. I hope this helped. Also, I hope I didn't trigger you too much. Please let me know if it did resonate, because this felt sort of very specific. And yeah, if you're interested in a reading, email me. Until we vibe again, loves. Hi, pile number two. Thank you for joining me for your reading. If you chose this Citrine as well as the Halloween Tarot, then you're at the right place. So, what I forgot to mention in the intro is that there's a trigger warning. We are going to be discussing shadow behaviors, so be prepared that anything may come up, okay? Also, the fact that I created this little deck, which will have the trigger words. I just want to get specific into behaviors. That pile number two. Oh, there we go. We have one that already came out, and I'm not even shuffling it. I was just mixing them. All right, so any other shadow behaviors that pile number two needs to know about? Okay, I think that's good now. Oh, I feel like one more, maybe this one. All right. So we have bullying, we have criticism of others, we have manipulation. Ew, I'm triggered already. We have gossip, and we have jealousy. Of course, of course. So, let me see. Let me just sit with this. Okay, so what I'm strongly picking up is this sort of everything coming down to the core. And what is the core of it is that there's this very like laser focused, how do I say it? I feel like a bunch of your energy is being laser focused on the perception of you, the way that you are perceived. And for some of you, I feel like this is professionally, but for others of you, I feel like this is just in general. And obviously, I'm assuming this is like in regards to social media. So whatever platforms that may be, whatever platforms you may be on, there is a strong sense of you battling with yourself in trying your hardest to get to a place to where you feel very secure in yourself. So there's unsteadiness here. I can feel it. It just feels like the intention that you have is right. I feel like you deeply want to be secure with where you're at, with who you are, with how others perceive you, with how you present yourself. With what you have achieved up into this point, but at the same time not being quite there. And because there's this, like I said, laser focus on wanting to be there, it's sort of like wanting to take shortcuts or wanting to sort of like manipulate yourself into feeling secure in how you're being perceived by the world and others around you. Let me give you an example. The reason why I say this is about like self-image. Let me use the career because that one came out strongly. It's the first image that I got of somebody who is laying out and creating either, you know, like a profile, a bio, a website to show their credentials, to show their work, to display this and that, and their, what is it, portfolio, if you will. But as they're doing it, feeling insecure with what they're putting up, maybe not feeling up to par, maybe comparing with what others have achieved or what others are currently receiving as far as like opportunities or something like that, and trying to like trick the mind into being like, no, I am professional, I am legitimate, I am worthy, I am this, that, whatever. I don't know what words, that's just what I'm saying, but you know what I mean. And sort of like then to try to feel secure in what you're telling yourself, then maybe perhaps like looking at others that are in similar or to appear to have similar journeys as you, especially in regards to career. So like colleagues perhaps, and comparing yourself and then sort of finding things in their work or their website or their stats or their accomplishments to pick at and sort of say, well, that person didn't even make it to blah, 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 you know? So, I mean, I'm good. I'm even better than they are because, not better than they are, but you know what I mean? Like, I shouldn't feel so bad because look at so-and-so, they're doing horribly. I'm just giving a very exaggerated example, but something like that. Like, in other words, like making yourself feel a little bit more secure by looking at somebody else who's not doing so good and sort of like being like, okay, well, in comparison to them, I'm doing pretty good. That's sort of where it's coming out of. And that's sort of making you feel better because there's this like turmoil within you at wanting to be there, at wanting to really just feel secure to put yourself out there and trust that you're absolutely amazing and talented and worthy of status in whatever type of status you are trying to be at peace with currently. Okay, for some of you this is not career, for some of you this is literally just like what you put out there and feeling very insecure with sharing yourself with how others are perceiving you, and maybe sort of picking up on energy of certain people that are targeting and like criticizing, gossiping about what it is that you're putting out there, and then sort of, I was gonna say allowing it to like hinder you, but at the same time I feel like it's not hindering you, but it is affecting you as you stroll along, as you flow, okay? So, with that being said, let's pull some tarot cards. What do we need to know? What does pile number 2 need to know about this situation, or about these shadow behaviors that they are currently experiencing? Oh, that was a lot. I don't know if I want to go that route. Ugh, I'm just going to do it, whatever. We have the 9 of Wands. The 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, that's going to be career for some of y'all. The 5 of Pentacles. The 8 of Ghosts. So that's the Cups. The 6 of Pentacles. The 6 of Wands. And the 5. Okay, so all the chaos is here. The 5 of Pumpkins. The 5 of Wands. The 8 of Ghosts. There being a sense of like... For some of you, I feel like loss of some sort. There was a loss of some sort that may have triggered all of these shadow behaviors. So this could be in regards to like status. Like perhaps you were like doing really good and then all of a sudden something shifted in your career and it sort of like you took a hit. You took a hit, okay? For others of you, this could be in some sort of... I was going to say social situation, but like friendship, relationship, something that was causing a lot of chaos and eventually led to a loss or a moving away from, but in essence, the moving away from triggered how you're being perceived. Okay, so this might be for some of you being newly single, like having left a relationship with the 8 of Cups and then now like being like hyper aware of how you're being perceived, you know, because now like you're single and maybe you're trying to put yourself out there and it's just sort of awkward for you and it's creating all of this, I'm going to say insecurity, because we do have like the jealousy and the criticism of others. So it may be like, you know, like some unsteadiness when it comes to your security and knowing who you are and being absolutely loving of every single part of you that makes you you, okay? Having a little bit of a, I'm seeing like a tube and a it's like bouncing, you know, when the boat pulls the thing. Anyway, so like some choppy waters, there we go, some choppy waters when it comes to how secure you feel in yourself and where you're headed, which I feel like, okay, because this could be for both. We have the 6 of Pentacles and the 6 of Wands, so seeking some sort of balanced energy, wanting to put things back into balance where they've been feeling out of balance. If you've been feeling out of balance, this shadow energy, pay attention to your thoughts, pay attention to yeah, like your self-dialogue throughout the day. And when you're feeling any of these or experiencing any of these being directed at you, understanding that that's what's throwing your energy off of balance. So don't feed it, okay? You will, if this is like some of your career or for some of you all, just like some social situation that I feel like you're putting into and very like I said, focused on how it's being perceived. You're putting something out there, even if it's just yourself. I see that it's, to be honest, either, I mean, this could be that you just want it to be in balance and to go with, but let me go ahead and put energies as to what we need to know moving forward about the situation to come out of this energy. What do we need to know about coming out of this energy? we have the Four of Ghosts, which is the Four of Cups. We have the Temperance and the Three of Ghosts. I feel like it's just a matter of tending to yourself naturally, right? With the Four of Ghosts here, I feel like okay, I'm hearing for some of you, you've rejected yourself before you can get rejected. And I'm going to assume that's in regards to the self-dialogue, because that's what I'm strongly getting with the Four of Ghosts. So for some of you, I feel like this energy is actually stopping you from trying to do something. And I'm just going to say it's putting yourself out there. So either putting yourself out there in new opportunities in regards to career, or putting a block on just in general, and putting yourself out there from socializing, and putting yourself out there on if you're trying to date, you know, whatever that may be. I feel like whatever self-dialogue is going on from this energy, this shadow energy, is actually stopping you. Okay, so I'm strongly feeling guidance to really tend to that dialogue, like mix up the formula when you catch yourself, whatever that is for you, right? When you catch yourself in self-dialogue that isn't productive for you, that sort of carries those energies. This is low vibration. All of these are very low vibration, okay? So it pulls you down. And then we tend to see more things out of balance. And then that's when we start to say, okay, well, what's going on? What's wrong? But it all stems from the little root of these energies, okay? But I can definitely say that there's a strong guidance coming through to switch up the formula and tend to those inner dialogues, because it'll quickly shift things for you in just acknowledging that this is going on. Like I said, the trigger in the beginning, because once I started pulling these, they triggered me, right? Because you're just like immediately wanting to say, those aren't me. I don't exhibit those things. But a lot of the time it doesn't have to be like, let's say, bullying, straight up, like you going and bullying somebody outwardly. It could be you're bullying yourself. You know what I mean? Within your inner dialogue. So it's that energy nonetheless. If you are bullying yourself in your inner dialogue, it's bringing your vibration just as down as if you were to go out in public and start bullying a stranger. Like, that energy, regardless, is the same low vibration. So if you think one's worse than the other, they're not. They are equal, okay? So putting yourself out, switching the gears, switching the formula, and it's going to quickly shift things for you, okay? Let me get you an advice card, and then we'll close this reading off. Oops, that didn't even show. Advice for pile number 2, please. Guardian angel, you are not alone. Aww. Some of you are feeling very alone, and again, I'm going to say that's for those of you when it comes to, like, you're trying to put yourself out there, but not really getting off to a good start. It's sort of your thoughts stop you before you even put yourself out there, okay? But you feel alone, and your guardian angels are wanting to let you know, hey, we're here to support you, because they understand that it's not an easy thing. For those of you that it is, in regards to career, same thing. When you feel like lost and unsure of what the next move is, of what's next to come, of where your next this or that is, of when you're going to start feeling, you know, more accomplished or secure or successful, trust that in those moments that you're feeling all of those things, that you're absolutely being protected and comforted by your guides, your angels, your ancestors, the universe, universal love. that is what I got for you, pile number 2. I really hope that these messages resonated. I hope I didn't trigger you too much. If I did, don't come for me. If you're interested in a personal reading, email me. And yeah, until we vibe again, loves. Hi, pile number 3. Thank you for joining me for your reading. If you chose this Labradorite, then you're at the right place. So I do have a trigger warning that I forgot to mention in the intro in regards to this little deck that I made of trigger happy words. So this is going to tell me what shadow behaviors we're dealing with for your reading. All right, so pile number 3, what are the shadow behaviors currently in their energy? Ugh, okay, that one came out. So this is going to be in regards to, like I said, either whatever you're experiencing, exhibiting, or it could be around you, being directed at you. Okay, I need 2 more. Oh, that's a good amount. Okay, so we have guilt, we have self-criticism. So that one officially came out in all 3 piles. Criticism of others as well. Rudeness, jealousy. Oh, we have a lot. Anxiety, selfishness, and dishonesty. All right, remember, don't come for me. Don't do it. Just kidding. I'm going to pause and see what comes from this energy. Okay, so what I'm picking up is a person who is sort of like like, you know, in the movies where there's like the person who lives in the house down the corner that nobody wants to pass by, the house that nobody wants to go trick-or-treating at. Why do I say that? I feel like you get them before they get me, or like shoot them down before they have the opportunity to shoot you down. It's just sort of like, I heard the word bitterness, okay? So like I said, don't come for me. That's not me. There's this like deep sense of unhappiness that is the root, okay? And I feel energy of yours being directed inwards, Screw everybody else. And my energy is mine, being directed inwards. Now, this doesn't have to be like your whole like way of looking at life. It could just be how you're feeling right now at this moment. Is sort of just like shutting it down. But at the same time, this is creating like this huge, cold, frozen, little gray land. You're living in a gray, cold, dreary land. And I feel like you feel this, but there's something that keeps you from changing that. Okay, so now what I'm seeing is, obviously this is a wall. I'm feeling woundedness. That's actually the root of all of this. Now, instead of seeing an angry, mean person, I'm seeing somebody who's actually really sad and really lonely. But exhibiting those feelings as these shadow behaviors when it comes to others specifically is what I'm getting. When it comes to others, this is how I guess they sort of come off. It's like someone who's sort of like critical, judgy, kind of like dry and rude, like sort of blunt. Yeah. Okay, let's see what we need to know about this shadow energy. What do we need to know about this shadow energy? I already saw the Five of Wands, and then I saw the Five of Cups. So, self-realization. Maybe while you were, I was going to say a hot topic. Maybe while you were drawn to this, like you were in a stage of wanting to change things. Or feeling the need for some sort of change. And like I said, it may just be from having been in, I don't know how long you've been in this energy. But for some of you, I feel like it may have been a while already. I feel, okay, I need to stop. There's like so many layers. There's like under layers within layers of feelings and experiences that you've had that are just like overlapping into chaos is what I'm getting. One more, please. Oh, I guess we're getting more than one more. All right, so we have the Ten of Wands, the Two of Wands, the Knight of Swords, the Page of Cups, the Ace of Cups, the Tower. Yeah, you want change. And Death, even more change. Yeah, I feel absolutely that either things are changing for you. Maybe this is like, what is it, like out of your hands? Like you're not making the changes. Things are just changing around you and you're forced to include some sort of release, some sort of deconstruction of something. You're having to undo something for yourself, and it's heavy. It's heavy. You did get the most out of the other piles as far as like shadow papers that came out. And now with the Ten of Wands, the Tower, and Death, I'm definitely getting why. There's a lot, you're in a lot of shadow energy currently, but it's a time to release. It's a time to release everything that you've been building over a lifetime. And this is, I'm getting walls, because remember I kept on seeing like layers upon layers of things that you, and it's just like you're like a puzzle. I'm seeing a rubric. It's like there's so many like aspects to why you think the way you think, the way you behave, the actions that you take. There's so many layers, but I feel like there is huge shifts with these three cards happening in order for you to absolutely transform. And this is just switching it up. Like what has been your routine, or that little like gray land that I was seeing, that's being knocked down. The little gray land is being knocked down. And I'm sure that it's very scary, and I'm sure that whatever is happening in your life currently, or within the time frame of you viewing this reading, has not been easy. It's very uncomfortable. It may be very painful. It wouldn't surprise me if it was, but it's just mostly really like stressful and uncomfortable is what I'm getting. It's a lot. It's a lot. Is sort of what I'm getting. However, it's going to free you. It's going to free you to pursue. It's going to free you to have what I'm hearing is a fresh start. Fresh energy, just shifting things up. Because I feel like with the Page of Cups and the Knight of Swords being like, okay, boom. All of a sudden, this like same like breaking through the gray clouds and having options and having hope is what I'm getting. having hope renewed. So whatever it is that you may be experiencing, even if this is just internal, like internal habits, thoughts, patterns being broken down, they eventually lead to external patterns and habits being broken down as well. Okay, so strong shift going on with you currently. What do we need to know moving forward or in regards to clearing this energy for pile number 3? We have the 3 of Pentacles, the 9 of Pentacles, and the 5 of Swords. It was in reverse, but I don't really read reversals, so let me just get more information on this. What is the 5 of Swords here for? The 8 of Swords in reverse. Is that the energy we're breaking out of? Be clear about this sword energy. Why is this energy here moving forward? Why is this energy here moving forward? Page of Wands and the Emperor. This is the energy you're being asked to address. This is like, you know, get them before they get you. Like selfishness, like all in it for yourself. Like, remember I said in the beginning about the energy, like screw everybody else. Like, my energy is for me. That sort of vibe is what keeps you stuck. So if you've been feeling stuck, yeah, because that's what I feel like. I saw like stagnant gray clouds, and then this Knight of Swords just came in, broke through them and dissipated them, shifted all up. Okay, so moving forward, I really see stabilizing yourself out of this, because I feel like it may be flip-floppy at first where you're gonna want to pull back towards that, but I really strongly, a message of guidance is to acknowledge when those thoughts, behaviors, patterns of, you know, that scenario that I said, in regards to your energy, and to really stabilize that, out of that is what I mean. To really stabilize yourself out of that energy anytime that it comes out, because that's what's being shifted. Like any changes or anything that you're going through right now that may feel a little chaotic is on purpose, because this is the energy. It's why our shadow behaviors are there, right? To teach us something about what's underlying, and this is the main energy that you're being guided to move out of in order to really stabilize yourself, because we have the 9 of Pentacles and the Emperor. Although I don't feel you necessarily being unstable to begin with, I do feel a lot of sadness, loneliness, and anxiety. So perhaps that's what is going to shift for you, is your new way of replacing this energy is going to be able to really stabilize you out of that energy, okay? Let me go ahead and get you advice. What is the advice for pile number 3? Did I already get advice? Queen of Wands. Dream and journey. Wands are about movement, okay? And then with the drum here, it's about moving to the, obviously moving to the beat of your own drum, but moving to the beat of the universe, to the heartbeat of the universe, which is anything that, like the wand energy, the fiery energy, anything that you feel pulled to, inspired by, excited by, curious about, anything. Like, don't ever discount its importance. I'm strongly feeling like this is a time to change out of all the thoughts holding you back and really just moving into action. Taking actions just on the whim of a beat of a drum. Because this is just like all these thoughts, just you playing scenarios in and out of your head, you having these thoughts about what if, what that, why you shouldn't this or that, why it's better if this or this, putting blockages on you experiencing, because this is experiencing. This is being stuck and just thinking about stuff all day. Thinking about all of the scenarios, all of the possibilities, all of the ways that things could go wrong, all of the ways that people have screwed you over, all of the ways in which it's better to just protect yourself. And this is just taking actions. Screw those thoughts. Just taking action and living life and having fun and marching to the beat of your own drum. And it's gonna like really liven up. This is no gray dreary life. This is fun. This is excitement. This is spontaneity. Okay. This feels like fun. Okay. It's a time of shift. Whatever's shifting in your life is because they want you to start living. No more old person at the end of the block who hates children on their lawn. Instead, you're like having like sprinklers and cool little bouncy houses on your lawn. You're doing random fun things out there. All right, that's what I got. Don't listen to my nonsense, okay? But anyways, I hope that this resonated with you. If it did, please let me know how. Obviously by liking, commenting, however you feel comfortable, loves. If you're interested in a personal reading, let me know. You can email me, and so we